Okay, so what's up, YouTube? This video is more of a rant. Um, I don't believe this is really a popular opinion. I've come across some videos on YouTube, but not a lot. Surprisingly, well, not surprising, because I don't think many people will straight up admit it. But AirPods, although they sound great, are some of the most uncomfortable earbuds that I've ever tried. I bought these about 3 days ago from Best Buy. These are the AirPod Pro. And I'm someone that likes to listen to music. So when I'm at work and I'm constantly going, I like to listen to music. It doesn't matter usually what it is. I like to bounce around from different genres. I just love music. And then sometimes I like to listen to podcasts or a book or something like that. So obviously, earbuds are important. They are worth the investment since I use them all the time. So I went to Best Buy and I was like, I want to get the AirPod Pros. Put them in my ears. Sound quality is amazing. Really do like them. Got a lot of bass. The vocals sound good. Calling is good on them. It took me a minute to get used to the active noise cancellation feature. But after maybe 20 minutes or so wearing them, not even 20 minutes, I started to feel a slight discomfort in the inside of my ear. So I'd adjust it. Then I'll continue listening to my music. And after a while, that discomfort became too much, and I just had to put them away. Because here's another issue: they fall out of your ears too easy. Now, people say that that's just the Pro issue. I've never had the original AirPods, so I can't really say. But I would believe that they don't fall out as easy because they're very similar to headphones, the headphones that you get, the wired headphones that you used to get with your phones. So I'm not really surprised about that. But the discomfort became unbearable, so I would just put them away. And I was doing a thing where I would put them away in my pocket for maybe an hour, hour and a half. Then I would put them back in my ear. And then I was thinking, maybe I'm putting them in my ear wrong. You know, trying to make excuses for it. Like, maybe I'm putting them in my ear wrong. Maybe that's the issue. Um, so I was just trying to constantly adjust them. It kept falling out. And, as much as these things cost, that's the last thing that you want, is them to constantly keep falling out of your ear, um, where you could possibly lose them. So it got to the point where I just put them away for the rest of the night. Rest of the shift, I put them away because I was just tired of dealing with them. And I was just playing my music out loud on my phone. So when I got home, played around with it a little bit more to see if maybe there was something I could do to make them feel a little more comfortable. Because like I said, these things are a pretty big purchase. You don't want them to not work for you because you spent a decent amount of money on them. You want them to work, so you're playing around with them. So I went online and I'm looking like, is anybody else having this issue maybe of these AirPods being uncomfortable? Anybody else? And you see some Reddits discussing it, but really the end solution was to just muster through. Yeah, they're pretty uncomfortable, but it is what it is. Just muster through it. Then someone suggested try them upside down. Wear them upside down to help make them more comfortable. Someone even suggested shave down. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Someone even suggested shaving down the upper piece of the headphone to make them a little more comfortable in your ear. Which to me is just beyond ridiculous that you have to even consider doing any of that, being that these cost as much as they do. So I tried again, because some people were saying after the first day or two, it hurt. The first day or two, it hurt. But now they're okay. So I was like, okay, well, maybe before I take these back to Best Buy, let me make sure that, it just wasn't a temporary discomfort. And maybe, things are all good now. Maybe, it was just I had to get used to how they felt in my ear or something like that. And no, actually what happened was later that night, I decided to watch a movie. And the entire time I was just messing around with the earbuds because they were so uncomfortable. I just kept adjusting them and trying new methods and trying to work with them. And I even got to the point where I tried every rubber tip that I had in here. Tried every one out. I even took them off because I saw a video that recommended taking off the rubber pads, which is, nonsense. Because that's the point of buying the AirPod Pros, so you can have that rubber tip. But I took them off to see if it would work, and it still didn't work. They were still very uncomfortable. But the next day, that's yesterday, the next day with the AirPods, I woke up. Mind you, I was listening to a movie, and I was trying to work with them the night before. I woke up, and my ears feel muffled. Feel like everything was sounding muffled. Like I experienced not only soreness on the inside of my ear, but I felt like hearing loss because it didn't feel like my ears needed to be popped. Like even now while I'm speaking to you guys, I feel like my hearing is still muffled. Like I can't really hear as clearly as I normally would hear. But in my left ear, it's hurting really bad, and both ears feel muffled. So I don't know how to feel about that. But I came across a video last night while I was ordering these because I finally just came to the conclusion that me and AirPods, we're not in sync with one another, and they're going back. They're going back. These cost too much to be as uncomfortable as they are. There is no excuse for that. These are only $24.99. These are Skullcandy's Jib True wireless earbuds. I actually had ordered the Sesh Evos through Target, but they didn't have them in stock, so they just grabbed the next best thing, or most similar thing, I guess, most similar item. But this was $24.99, and I was playing around with this earlier today, and they feel great. They are comfortable. I don't feel like they hurt my ears. They sound good. They don't have like as soon as you take them out of your ear, they pause or anything. I mean, these are budget earbuds, but they do what they need to do. They work better. They work better than these. They're more practical than these. They fit better in my ear than these. The lockdown is better with these than these. Now, people complained about how the cases are for the Skullcandy because they're long and they're not really good in pockets. I don't know what pockets these people have, but these will fit in my pocket just fine. I don't feel like this will be an issue at all. It's not going to be an issue. But this, let's just take one of the earbuds out and look at them. I thought that I was not doing something right. There's your earbud for your AirPod, and let me just flip this open. And here's your Skullcandy. So the only thing that I can think, someone mentioned it in a video that I was watching, and I'll leave a link to his video, is perhaps adding a cushion up top instead of just a hard plastic all over. But what I'm thinking they should do is remove the stem, because you have this fat upper and you have this stem at the bottom, and it's not giving it any leverage. It's just, obviously your weight is up here at the very top, and then you have this at the bottom, but it's pressing up against your ear in an uncomfortable manner. And yes, you do have this hard plastic that's not working with this, but it's not a lot of room to really adjust these in your ear because of the stem being right there hanging. So perhaps they need to remove the stem, but I also think you should coat the entire upper, not even just the top of it. You should coat the entire upper with a foam. Kind of like when you go to the shooting range and you put the foam in your ears, the little plugs in your ear. I feel like that's what it should be similar to. That's the type of material it should be similar to. More durable, but for longevity, but still the same kind of idea. But it would make sense though to have that foam up here. But I just think maybe make an all body like really squishy device that you can just place inside of your ear. But I haven't found a lot of videos. I've found people saying that they were disappointed in the AirPod Pros, but I haven't found too many videos of people saying, like, straight up, these things hurt. My hearing, at this moment, I would say since yesterday morning, it has not been the same. It has not been the same since I've been playing around with these. So I don't know what's up. There is a huge flaw with the design for the AirPods. There's something wrong here. And I don't think people will give skull candies, and I feel like I'm ranting a little bit longer than usual, but it is what it is. Um, I don't feel like people would give skull candies enough props by saying they are really decent, um, because they are budget. Because it would sound foolish. It would make consumers sound foolish. The ones who may have spent money for these, when you could have gotten these, and you could have had a better experience overall. I think people who have the idea of like we will muster through discomfort, those are the people that are toxic to the Apple community, to flagship communities, because instead of calling it out and saying, hey, it's not really all that it's hyped up to be, there are some issues that they can really fix on these damn things, because they don't want to sound foolish for spending the money on them, right? They'll just act as if nothing is wrong, or they'll never talk about it. They're like, yeah, they're pretty uncomfortable, but you know, they're AirPods. They'll justify it with, but look at the name. And this is what Apple is riding off of. This is what a lot of flagship devices are riding off of. They are riding off of their name. Even if the product itself is mediocre at best. They ride off of that. They don't have to fix anything, because people will still stand in line to buy these. They will stand in line to buy these, even if it is uncomfortable, even if it causes your ear to bleed, even if it hurts your ears, even if you might suffer hearing loss. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People will muster through it. That is the argument. We will muster through it. That's the response. The overall response surrounding these. I know they're uncomfortable, but maybe we could try to wear them upside down, or we could shave them down a little bit, or we could do this. You shouldn't have to do DIY projects on something that is, what, $200 plus? You shouldn't. Which I didn't get these for $200 plus. I got them on sale. I would have never spent that much on these. And I shouldn't have spent what I spent on these initially. So that's why these things are going back. But these things hurt. They hurt. They hurt. And people will say muster through it before they will say, okay, Apple needs to fix that. They need to fix that flaw. There's a problem here. There's an issue. And I got the AirPod Pros because, to be real with you, I've never liked the Apple headphones that came with their devices. I've always felt like they were uncomfortable. But when they came out with the AirPod Pros with the rubber tips, I'm like, okay, well, maybe those would be better. But surprisingly not. They still hurt. If not more, to be honest. They hurt a little bit more than my wired earbuds. They hurt more. But that's like blasphemy to say that a $24.99 pair of earbuds are better than a $200 plus pair of earbuds. That sounds like blasphemy. Now, sound quality, yes, Apple, it has more features. But build quality, which is the most important, because if you're not comfortable, if your ears hurt, you're not going to wear them as much. Hands down, it goes to Skullcandy. Skullcandy has bass. I've listened to several different songs that come from several different genres. I can say that these are pretty good. And I hope that they last for quite some time. And when these die, guess what? I still won't buy these again. I will buy another pair of Skullcandies. Because these things hurt. How can you justify a price tag with, oh, but the sound quality is great, if you can't even enjoy them because you're so uncomfortable, because your ear is bleeding, because your ears are sore. There's no excuse for that. There's absolutely no excuse for that. But you will have more people, and I don't even like to say our sheep, I say flagship hoes. Flagship hoes will not admit if a design is flawed, if there are some issues. They will not admit that. They will ride the wave and continue to gas it up and say that it's really good before they admit that even if these are decent to them, they will not admit that these $24.99 ones are more practical and fit better in your ear than these because of that price tag and that name. This is very disappointing. But yeah, I don't see too many people discussing this topic about them being uncomfortable. And if they do, they wrap it up with, yeah, but there's ways to make them a little more comfortable. You can go buy some accessories. And I'll be damned if I gotta buy more accessories to make a headset that costs this much be comfortable. Shouldn't have to do that. That's the point that I feel like we just keep overlooking. You shouldn't have to do all of these things to make these comfortable. They should just be comfortable because you spent too damn much on these for them not to be comfortable. That's the tee. That's the thing. That's the thing that makes you laugh. That's the big, tee about it. Is how ridiculous is that? We are all sitting up here saying, "Oh, these are uncomfortable," but if you just kind of shave them down a little bit, that will help in your ears. Or if you flip them upside down, that will help. Or if you take off the cushions completely, just completely disregard the reasonings for buying the AirPod Pros, then that might work a little bit better. Or you can go and get some tape. There's a tape method too. You shouldn't have to do all of these methods, DIYs, tricks, hacks to make these damn things comfortable. They should just be comfortable. And there's no excuse for it. If these had been some off-brand headphones, let's just say, if this was Skullcandy's build, people would not hesitate to talk about how uncomfortable these are. And then they'd say, well, you get what you pay for. That would be the argument. Well, you get what you pay for. But with these fit better in your ear, but they won't admit it. And because these are Apple, they won't say that these are uncomfortable. They'll just say, they were so-so. I kind of preferred my other AirPods for these reasonings, I mean, these do fall out your ears quite a bit, and these cost entirely too much to constantly fall out your ears. The lockdown on these are A1. Solid. The build for these are solid. I mean, yeah, there are things that I wish that they didn't have, like micro USB on this one. I wish that they had, maybe like a C charge for these. That would have been awesome. But I'm not pressed about it, because these were the $24.99. I originally ordered, like I said, the ones that were slightly more expensive, the Sesh Evos, but they ran out of those, so they got the next closest looking thing, and they got these instead. And I'm not disappointed. These are pretty good. See, I can make exceptions for things that cost like 24 bucks. But I cannot make exceptions for things that cost 200 something bucks. And that's the problem with some of these people out here. They will make more justifications and exceptions for shit that costs entirely too much, and then have no filter when it comes to things that were budget friendly. They will rip into it, whether it's shoes, whether it's headphones, whether it's electronics, whatever, cell phones. They have no hesitation with ripping into those devices, even though these are the ones that cost less. But if it's a piss poor product that costs more, they will make all of these exceptions for it, which I don't understand. And I think that ultimately it comes down, you don't want to look like a dumbass out here spending all of this money on these things, and really, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. The sound quality is nice, but like I said, if you can't even enjoy the device itself, how can you enjoy the sound? You can't even really wear them because they hurt or they're falling out of your ear. There's a lot of issues with the AirPod Pros. I can't really speak on the AirPods, but because of my experience with the AirPod Pros, I damn sure wouldn't waste my time buying the AirPods. The only ones that I would even consider would be the Max, but I would spend $549 for no headphones when there are a lot of different alternatives out here that are at a budget friendly price tag. I wouldn't waste that money on that. So yeah, I just wanted to rant a little bit, discuss why these are going back, my issues, and honestly, I would recommend these. I would recommend picking these up. These Skullcandy. These are Jib Trues. These are $24.99. If you want something that's just a step above these, you get the Sashivos. That's what I was originally going to get, but like I said, they ran out. These are really good. They surprised me. They surprised me a lot, actually. These are going right back in the box, and they are going back to Best Buy because these are just trash. I know you want to clutch your pearls, right? Me telling you that an AirPod Pro is trash. They are trash because you can't enjoy them because they are uncomfortable. The sound is amazing, but they are uncomfortable. And I've never experienced ears feeling like this and sound being so muffled right now. I've never experienced this before. And I didn't have them up at max volume. That's the thing. I didn't even have them up at max volume. So I don't understand why they feel this way. So I don't know. Should I rate them? Why not? If I could rate the AirPod Pro from 1 to 10, they get a 4. Sound is amazing, but that doesn't mean a damn thing if you can't even use the product properly. That's all I gotta say on this. If you like this video, make sure to thumbs it up. And we're out. Thanks for watching.